Hi, good morning. In object-oriented programming using Java course, we are going to see the topic class. In previous video, we have seen about object, what is an object, and examples of some objects. So now we are going to see about the topic class. So let's move into the session. So class is a collection of objects. So in previous video we saw that object can be a physical or logical entity, but here class is a logical entity. A class can also be defined as a blueprint from which you can create an individual object. Classes doesn't consume any space, only the object will consume space. A class is a user defined blueprint or prototype from which objects are created. It represents the set of properties or methods that are common to all objects of one type. So using classes, you can create multiple objects with the same behavior and by writing their code multiple times. Without writing their code multiple times. It includes classes for objects occurring more than once in your code. So in this sense, we can achieve the reusability concept of the Java programming, which is a major advantage of using this programming language. So next, a class, it is a user defined data type. So string, int, float and all are built-in data types. The derived data types are string and arrays. So the class is a type of user defined data type. It consists of data members and member functions which can be accessed and used by creating an instance of a class that is called object. So it represents the set of properties or methods that are common to all objects of one type. Okay, a class is like a blueprint for an object. For example, consider the class of cars. There may be many cars with different names and brands that will share the some common properties, like all of them will have 4 wheels, engine, seatings, etc. So here car is the class, and wheels, speed limits, mileage are their behavior. Okay, so class, so this is an example for the class. So class is nothing but a blueprint for the object. So it defines how the object should be. So class defines how the object should be. So that is a blueprint for the object. So here is a class, defined class. So sample, you have to give a class name here and class attributes of class and methods of class. A class can have methods and attributes. Attributes is nothing but variables. Okay, so this is the class. Then object. So blueprint is a class, but a real house is considered as an object. So object can be a physical entity or a logical entity, but class is nothing but a logical entity. Okay, so objects are managed using heap structure. Okay, so with the help of heap structure, we are going to manage the objects. So the attribute in heap, the memory allocation for the attributes and methods will take place. For example, the attribute 1 will consider 2 bytes of memory, and attribute 2 takes 4 bytes of memory, where the attributes are defined in the class. Okay, so example of class and object. So here car is a class. Okay, so car is a class. The object, the different car brands. Okay, so Volvo, Audi, Toyota. So these are the different brands of the car. So these are considered as the object of the class. So here class is a logical entity and objects are the physical, or it can be a logical entity also, but here it is a physical entity. So a class is a template for creating object. So let's see within a diagrammatic example. So below diagram shows a class, a circle class, which is a template to create the 3 objects. So here we are going to see how we are going to create more than one object for a class. Okay, so here class name, we have to give a class name. Class name always should start with a capital letter. Then data fields. Data fields is nothing but variables, the variables we use inside the class. Okay, so then next the methods. We have 3 methods here inside the class circle, that is get area, get parameter and set radius. These are the methods of the class circle. Okay, so this is the class template. This is how a class should look like. Okay, the class name, class should have fields and methods. So now we are creating a object 1 for the class circle. So here we are setting the value as 1 to this data field which is called as radius. To this radius we are setting the value 1 with the help of object 1. So this is the first object created for the class circle. Next we are going to create a second object called object 2 for the same class circle, and now here we are going to set the value 25 to this data field, so to this variable radius. So we have created a second object and we have set the value of 25 to the radius. Again we are also creating an object 3 and setting a value of 125 to the data field, that is radius, to the same class. So here we have only one class and we can create more than one object for the same class. Likewise we can create more than one object for a single class itself. Thank you.